Alright folks, welcome to the Besides the Norm podcast. I'm Scuba, I'm sitting here with Craig, man.
Saturday.
You're right, aye?
Aye.
Cool. How, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for this one?
It's a question you've never asked me before.
There you go.
Let's say 10. I'm always excited about these podcasts, so I can't put any other podcast down.
Well, that's it. Well, before we introduce who we've got in, this is a thing we've been talking about for a while. It's kind of... I was like trying to get politicians in, but I thought nobody's going to be fucking interested whatsoever.
And then we got pretty much them all.
Aye, and that's it. So to even get a reply back was pretty fucking cool. So we've got here right now, Mistress Inka. How are you doing?
Hello.
Excellent. So you're a Dominatrix based in Edinburgh?
I am indeed.
Mm-hmm.
I have a dungeon there that I have a partner, another mistress with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how long have you been kind of involved in this kind of side of things?
About 4 or 5 years,
right.
Something like that. I was a teacher beforehand.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's how you got into the disciplinary action for straight.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know why they got rid of the strap in the pin. But I took voluntary severance and started doing it more full time and professionally. Yeah.
Right. So, like when you were a teacher, did you do this at the weekends and stuff like that? Kind of keep it to yourself and
teacher by day, dominatrix by night.
Kinky, you can be a kinky teacher.
There you go.
Don't bring it into the
there you go.
The classroom.
Exactly. So,
what was it you taught? By the way?
Art.
Ah, there you go.
Yes. It's college actually. It's a college.
Oh, right.
All right. That's fine. See, I was imagining the school teacher thing there, so I had in mind. But so, like, what kind of age were you when you actually decided you want to kind of go into this line of work?
So, I think I always knew that I was interested in kink, but didn't know what area and things. Probably when I first, I've thought about when I actually felt funny about something, and I remember getting very excited at King Kong when the woman was tied up and she was like, struggling for her life. And I remember thinking, in a very, very small girl head, thinking, that's hot, whatever you think.
Aye.
Fizzy pants or whatever. And
fizzy pants.
That's a great saying. I'm going to steal that for you. It's fantastic.
And I always just loved the look of all the boots and leather and just the whole, image.
I think that seems to be like they made like a huge attraction to a lot of this, is the kind of leather wear and kind of like all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, the fetish wear.
That tends to be the first thing you notice before you get into anything else. Generally, I think.
Because a lot of people, it's just about the boots, or it's
yeah.
just about the whip.
But it doesn't seem like the sort of thing where if you're asked when you're at high school, what you want to do when you grow up, dominatrix doesn't tend to come into people's minds.
No.
That would tend to be a thing that was a personal interest and then just gradually becomes a job, or something happens at one point and you realise I can make money doing this, and then it gradually becomes a job for that.
Yeah, I think you have to have a love for it.
We've had a message that they'd prefer you to be closer to the mic.
Oh, right, okay.
I got a text there.
So they can hear the heavy breathing, is it?
Is that better? Right, just to anybody, if that's better, let us know. So that's cool. Right, what were we talking about there before?
Yes, you don't choose it as a career.
Yeah.
You get into it. So actually, I started off playing the sub with a kinky partner I had. Realised that that I wanted to get up and punch him. If it became if it became any more than sensual, then I was just like realised I should have been the other side of the whip. So then me and my partner used to get submissive girls to come round, and we would be dominant with them. So it was through being on the other side of it that I learned that I was actually the dominant one. But it's...
So you're just dominant now, there's no switching involved?
Maybe a wee bit with a partner or something. It's nice to just turn off now and again and let things happen to you, but not really, like, it has to feel really nice. If it's not, I'm like, yeah. And I don't really like being tied down and things. It's that lack of control thing. I'm not really into
claustrophobia and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, just like lack of control. I would have to really trust the person.
Mm-hmm.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye, that would be my problem, is that I didn't trust anybody.
Aye.
I'm getting a fucking phone call. Jesus.
I think one of the big things.
It's Mum.
Perfect. Right, I'll wait till Craig comes back. We were looking at some stuff on, I think it was Twitter. You post a lot of pictures on Twitter and stuff like that as well. There was one of the things that really disturbed me was the mangina thing.
I did one of them this morning.
Did you?
I did with staples rather than sutures.
Oh, right.
Medical staples.
Could you go through the process of this?
Okay.
And as much detail as possible, just to kind of freak people out. It's the mangina thing we're talking about.
Well, it depends. I do different manginas. But normally it's just pulling the balls over the penis.
Yeah.
And then sewing it up.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got a nice little... And then the thing is, it's the person gets excited inside their mangina and they want to burst out. Yeah, so...
See, that was a thing, because when we seen the pictures, we were like, right, that looks painful. But we never thought, like, a pleasurable experience could get a lot worse from that time.
That didn't even cross my mind.
Well, they can't burst out because it's medical suturing or medical staples that I use. But then you can just snip it, and then, because if you're using kind of vibrator wand or whatever on the mangina, then it's starting to try and get hard inside and escape. Jeez. So if you just snip a couple of the stitches away, it will kind of just burst out of its...
So
it's balls.
We showed your mum this, right?
I'll explain this before people start to get a bit touchy about this. We're
very close to your mother. That's the main story.
But we were talking about getting you in and stuff, and we were talking about the podcast, and Craig mentioned the mangina thing, and Mum was like, "What the fuck's a mangina?" And I was like, "Right, you're going to have to show her." So she was pretty disturbed.
I purposely found the one
well.
that had the vibrator on top, and then it was stitched inside.
Oh yeah,
I purposely showed her that one because that's my favourite one.
I kind of pushed the cock inside before it was hard. Obviously, then you can kind of push the cock in itself, and then push the vibrator up inside the cock.
Oh, is that what you done?
Kind of.
Wow, that's much worse than I thought.
Listen, he's totally into it. It's the same guy that comes for the mangina all the time.
Oh, right.
And well, I've tried it with others, but it's too hardcore for them.
Oh, yeah.
So it's he's a completely lovely, normal guy, but just every now and again, he just wants a mangina done.
Which is perfectly fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
If that's what you're
interested in. More interesting.
Yeah, you were saying we kind of laughed about it. I'm open-minded.
I'm a very open-minded person, but that scares me.
Aye, it's the jamming stuff in the cock, and it's
well, actually,
all that kind of stuff.
The sounding, urethral sounding.
Right,
you'd be so surprised about how easily the sounds just slip down there. And the thing is, it's like for a lot of people, it's kind of like getting kind of wanked off. Can you say wanked off?
Aye, you can see what I'm like.
Is that too sweary?
No, that's fine.
From the inside out.
We're talking about stapling Bossax.
Yeah, but
you could swear.
This could be like a medical show, But yeah, the sounding, it just falls down there. It just falls down. And then you can just put it back up.
There was someone on what's her name, Miss Marilyn?
Miss Marlin, my partner in crime. Yes.
She had like a device, and it was like two rods that were stretching it.
Yes, that's the urethral stretcher, and so it just goes in, and then you can just slowly screw each side of it so the nuts get. Or the nuts. Excuse the pun. Get obviously wider. So, but you just do it very slowly again to people's pleasure or pain limit. Yeah.
Jeez.
So,
all right. What kind of? Could you talk about the kind of people you're getting in? Because there's obviously like a few kind of like people that like to kind of really, really keep it kind of anonymous. So I imagine most people do. Obviously,
every walks of life, all walks of life. everyone you could probably imagine.
So there's nothing to this stereotype that people willing to BDSM tend to be the higher class, sort of more income-based people.
No, well, income-based, yes.
The higher income.
Yeah, because it's
Because it's really expensive.
It's not like Lidl dominatrix.
I know, bargain basement dominatrix. There's a lot of people that have no cash that's into it, and actually sometimes then they can do chores for me, or you know, they can kind of get a session by cleaning, or you know, different kind of chores, and that's like people that can't afford it.
Yeah.
But really can't afford it, rather than, you know, students phoning up say, can I get discount? They have.
Oh, right,
do you do
I've got a young stock card or something.
Like, oh my god.
Do you get that quite often then? Like people would phone up asking for freebies because you're into this kind of thing, and they're like, oh, she'll do it for free, sort of thing. Do you get that quite a lot?
Yes, it's funny.
What I have heard about a lot is people that do videos, they'll ask for models to be involved, and then they'll just get random people saying, oh, I've done this before, I'm into this, and then it turns out that they've never done it before and they're just looking for a free shot.
Right.
Which seems a bit shite to me. That you would go straight for that as opposed to...
No, I wouldn't use anyone in a video that hasn't done it before. I mean...
No, but I mean like people trying to get in the video.
Oh, right, aye.
Oh, probably. But yeah, if they had no experience, I wouldn't. Unless it was something very mild. You know, a mild spanking or something. But we expect them to pay for the video as well. Like maybe not the full amount. They'll be getting half price session, but they'll be getting a much longer session. You know, for
in between takes and
price
stuff like
things
that.
like that. Yeah, and they get to hang about with us. You know, backstage or. Yeah, so we get a lot of people wanting to be film slaves, and some of them don't pay, but again, it's ones that we've known for a while that have paid, and then, you know, they're very good, so we use them again, but yeah.
Well, I was sorry. Are you going to?
I'll go.
All right. Do you have a kind of like a personal relationship with some of the subs and stuff like that, or do you have a kind of like a kind of like you have to back away sort of thing, or are you able to kind of accept them?
I'm friendly with a lot of my clients, or kind of more kind of ex-clients. But no, I wouldn't have a relationship with them unless it was a dom sub relationship. You know, so I'll have certain people come around and clean my actual house, whereas not many people would get into my house, but if I trust them and things, then yes. But no, not like a sexual relationship or anything with them.
So no, like going to the pub for a drink and...
Oh yeah, I would do that.
Oh, do you do that? Right.
There's a lovely man, Charles, that I go for lunch with now and again, before and after session. I have a client who is, I call him a bitch, who's no longer a client, he's just a friend. It helps that he's a millionaire.
Right, there you go.
Yeah, so, you know, my car and thing has been, he pays for that. And so he's a very good friend now, but we met through a session.
Right.
Yeah.
So is there a lot of kind of perks like that, kind of guys that want to pay for stuff? And because I know some people have like Amazon wish list and stuff like that. And people like webcam girls and stuff. The way like Amazon.
Yeah, I have an Amazon.
You got that as well.
Yeah, sometimes people buy something, but not often. But I mean, I got a lovely perfume the other day that someone's seen on my Amazon wish list, and then they bring it to a session.
Right.
But yeah, you do get treated quite a bit. I think in London or bigger cities, a lot of mistresses get, although there's a lot more people. But my birthday's the end of this month, and one of my clients is buying me a new rubber outfit that's going to cost 180 quid, and you know, I get lots of chocolates and wine and things given to me, so it's good.
You must have some birthdays when you got a big rubber suit and then Dairy Milks.
Yes, brilliant. Brilliant.
That's fantastic. I was going to add, when you first started, obviously you wouldn't have a premises sort of when you first started. Did you have to invite people into your house, or did
yes.
you? No, yeah. What's the deal with that? Like, 'cause I would be fucking scared to let people in my house in that sense. A lot of time. Was it easy enough for you to do that?
Yes, but if I felt, I mean, there's different sites and things like adult work that I used to just use at the beginning. You can see people's feedback, so they can give you feedback, and you can see people's feedback, so you can see if they've been with lots of different people and what they've said about them. Someone without feedback, I would ask for a deposit, and then you would get their details and things like that too, and know that they're not a time waster. If I still didn't feel that comfortable, I would have my partner or my friend in the other room until the transaction had been done, and then they would leave. So they would just sneak out. So you have to think about your safety, but I mean, I've never had a problem.
That's it. So you've not had any kind of safety problems ever at all?
No, Miss Marlin did though. She got hit in the face, and
Jesus.
Yeah, a guy attacked her at the beginning. Yes, and then he just kind of ran away, but once you kicked him in the balls. But that was scary. She had a bruised face and all the rest. It could have been a lot worse.
That's it.
But fingers crossed. Nothing's happened to me.
Is that just to try and get away from paying it? They went through that?
No, he actually gave her the money. She went to go and get him a glass of water and put the money away. She came back, and the things that she had lined out, he attacked her with them. So I don't know what he was hoping for.
So he was just a psychopath.
Yeah. So whether, I mean, if she had been weaker, maybe she would have got raped, killed. I don't know. I wouldn't want to think.
Totally.
But really scary. Really scary. Yeah.
Because that's the thing I would imagine, like with kind of this line of work, that you'd get a lot of that. But obviously, you've been quite safe and you've never had any.
No, I think maybe escorts and sex workers
definitely
would get more of it than dominatrix. They know that we've got too many tools at hand to hit them with.
Well, this one of the things I want to talk about as well. You've got your own premises. You can share it with Mistress Marlin.
Yes, and a couple of other mistresses.
There's a few others, right?
And couples rent it too. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you can do like private functions and stuff like that.
Well, people can just rent it by,
Like
basically. We've had a few parties. And
there you go.
No, but couples, like young couples, older couples, that are kinky and they just want to go to dungeon and all the equipment's there, they'll come and rent it for a few hours.
That's excellent. That's
we're
excellent.
Not using it. Yeah.
We'll have to book it for a podcast one day. Be a funny area.
Absolutely.
Would definitely be up for that. So, how long you had the premises? What's it called? Because it's a French word.
We had Maison De Debauche, but that was my old flat that we were working from. But we've moved to bigger premises called Original Sin now. Right. Just because it was easier to say. I think people were like, "What's this?" So a much bigger place that we've only been in since January. So it's still not 100% finished, but it's pretty much it's good.
So what kind of size of place is it? Is it made to look like a proper dungeon? Because is it made to look that way as much as possible? Or?
It's dark blue walls, red velvet curtains. We have a medical room as well, but we have everything you can think of. Suspension frame that's built in the place for hanging people upside down and such what. And we have, sex swings and spanking benches and cages and,
It's amazing how imaginative you can be just with a few bits of equipment.
I suppose
there'll be so many different things that you could do with all that equipment. Like, probably uncountable amount of things you could do. And just, for most people to just have a certain type of sex, it's just a few things that they've got, and then if you just switch a wee bit into sort of bondage and stuff, and then for there it just becomes huge. There's hundreds, I don't know if there's thousands, but hundreds of things that you could do. It just instantly opens up. I think that's cool.
Well, even just, me and my partner, we would just go to the dungeon and it would just be all these different things that you could have sex on, or vibrators to use, and instead of just a normal kind of sex and then you fall asleep or whatever, then you actually make a night of it. You take a bottle of wine, and then you take your time over it, so it's a lovely time to spend with your partner. because it's actually, this is for us, and we're going to spend the next 2-3 hours just playing. You know, and it can just be very mild, normal sex, but just you know, just actually thinking about it, like thinking about the positions or thinking about what you wear, or it's good.
Excellent. So, do you get like kind of couples trying to book it and then book yous to come in as well?
I have done, some couples that want. I've had submissive males with females that are learning to be more dominant. So I've had a couple of couples that have booked me in, which has been. It's been interesting because obviously they know each other and they have a dynamic anyway, and then everyone's dominant in a different way, or you know, into a different thing. So, but you can show them a few bits and bobs, or I've got so much equipment that a lot of the time it's just even showing them what equipment is there and what you can do with it, because some people go, what the hell is that for? They come in and we've got more toys than, you know, Toys R Us, and they're like, what does that do? I mean, look at it, that looks really scary.
I can imagine, because some of the stuff I've seen, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of maybe going through with them, going, oh, it looks scary, but actually this is quite nice, you can use it like this. And or we have a lot of electrics, like TENS machines and things, and all the different attachments that go with that.
Is that the thing that was in one of the Mangina pictures? It was
just
patches.
Yes.
That's what that is. Right. I'd have thought that.
Was it like the muscle flexor thing? Like,
so I mean, I don't like it on myself at all, but some people it feels amazing, and like not in a painful way at all, but really pleasurable. I mean, women get TENS machines when they're pregnant, and they put them on their backs to ease the pain of labour and things like that.
Because you get a kind of like light massage, and there's some of them that can go to like a kind of rougher extent just to kind of massage the.
So it's a real nice feeling for some people. Yeah. That's
it. Have you ever had a guy come in that's just been like, right, I could do this, I'm kind of used to kind of this side of things, and then they come in and they're totally not used to kind of whatever you've kind of put on them?
Yeah, all the time.
All the time.
People ask for, Mistress, I want you to kick my balls as hard as you possibly can so that they go, you know, back inside me, or you know, step on them so they like. They'll never be the same again, and they ask for all these things, and they don't really want that. No. They want the idea of that, or the play to go, I'm going to kick you in the balls as hard as I possibly can. I don't want to put the man in hospital or make him, you know, never have children again. But it's all in his head. It's like, you know, I do say, I'm not going to put you in hospital, I'm not going to damage you in any way, and, you know, when somebody has actually said, I want castrated, and I go, I think you should go and see a psychiatrist or a doctor and tell them about your fantasy, because it's not healthy.
Have you had that before? People
asking about quite a few times, and I'm like, you shouldn't be asking people for that, you know, because there will be some crazy bitch out there that will maybe do it first, some money. Totally. And you know, it's really dangerous thing, and the person, maybe their fantasy is really real, but the reality of it is, I mean, if you're just performing that in an unmedical environment, I mean, it's
it's going to cause
huge fucking problems.
So
crazy.
Fingers crossed, you know, these people don't get what they ask for. You know, but I think it's kind of that. It's like they're asking for something, and if they go away feeling like you have kicked them really hard, but it's, you know, you've taken them to as far as they could go. But you know, not going too far. So it's a really hard balance, and it's really hard to get the first time right as well, because you don't want to push them too far and they can't handle whatever they're getting. And at the same time, you don't want to. Well, you do kind of want them to go away thinking, I could do it a bit more next time, because then they've got something always to kind of to reach for. They go, next time I've had, you know, 30 canes, I want 40 canes next time, or 50, you know, and it's pushing them, and your boundaries can get pushed, but it's really about building up a relationship and knowing that the person can take it. And
yeah,
absolutely.
As well as them having limits, presumably you have your own set of limits, things that you won't do as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What would they include?
Hard sports.
What's that? What's hard sports? What's this?
That's shitting on somebody.
Right, and puking and all that kind of stuff.
That's Roman showers and
Is that what it's called?
yeah.
All right. See, I can understand why you wouldn't do that.
And I don't do sexual activities, so
Yeah.
so no.
That's it. That's the thing that I expected a lot of dominatrixes to never sort of have that kind of involvement. It was always the kind of like the pain kind of side of things. And
I mean, there's lots of pleasure in it too. I have machines to finish people off, so you can milk them with machines and vibrators and things, or they can finish themselves off. But no, I don't get my kit off, and they can't do things to me.
Do you get people annoyed at that then? Like that come on, they expect a wee bit of that.
Well, I got an email the other day, or a message the other day, and it said, "I want you to do this to me, Mistress, and then this to me, and then I will please you with oral." And I said, "Yeah, that all sounds good, apart from the oral part."
Did you put this message on Twitter?
Yes,
I think so. I did. I seen it the other day. Aye.
And he said, "No, Mistress, I will pleasure you with oral." And I said, "Yes, I understand, but no, I don't do that. I don't offer it." And the guy was like, then tried a different way of explaining it. It was like, "No, you can't go down on me." And he was just really confused. What? Who wouldn't want that? Why wouldn't that be allowed? And it was, just sometimes people just don't get it.
I take it you get that quite often then.
Well, not really. I mean, most people do know what a dominatrix is these days. And if you're looking for sex, you don't go to a dominatrix.
No.
Oh, well, there you go. That's it.
Yeah.
I was going to... Oh, sorry.
Some of the things I've seen, because it shocks me that people don't know this exists. When 50 Shades of Grey first came out, people were shocked at that people were into that, and obviously there was also the mainstream appeal of it. I would imagine also that you're not a big fan of 50 Shades of Grey.
No, because she wasn't consensual.
No.
The guy basically abused her, and he wasn't. It wasn't fun. It wasn't like. I mean, people are into this because they want to be into it, and they enjoy it, and it's not about somebody's like me having a power trip. I mean, maybe some mistresses, yes, whatever, but I'm unhappy if the person goes away unhappy. I want. Basically providing a service at the end of the day, and I want a happy customer. Theirs wasn't a paid thing, and theirs was personal life, but that wasn't consensual.
I've never seen it or read it in the books, but I have heard people talking about how she was pretty much manipulated into thinking these things were what she wanted. So I've got no idea what actually happened in it, but...
Well, I've seen the film. The film was awful. The acting was awful as well. But I just wanted to see, mostly for their toys and the cool room that he was meant to have and everything. And he said to her at some point, "I'm going to belt you however many times, okay or whatever." And she went, "No, I don't want it." And he did it anyway.
So that's straight away a no.
That's like no. It's like she said no. So. That, stop there.
Well, the reason I brought up 50 Shades of Grey is because I've got a friend who's kind of into this. She's just had a baby, so she's not into it anymore, or not active anymore. But she was at a club, and a woman came in who had obviously just seen 50 Shades of Grey, and she was all excited. She was asking somebody to whip her, and she picked out a toy. I'm sure it was some sort of cane. Okay. And she picked out this thick thing, and the guy was like, "That's going to really hurt." And she was like, "Oh no, I can take it. I've done all this before, I can take it." And he was like, "Really? Like, this is thick, this is really going to hurt." She said, "No, go ahead." So he done it once, and she went mental like properly freaked out. And he was like,
"That fucking hurt or something."
I told you twice that this is a fucking thick bit of wood. It's going to hurt a wee bit. And you told me there, and she was just obsessed with 50 Shades of Grey.
That's amazing.
You'd never kind of go in with canes unless the person's really experienced and hardcore with it. But most people, you would build up to something like that as well. You can take a lot more pain and a lot more of it if you start very light, and build on it, so the person's threshold gets greater, and all the chemicals start going around their body, and they can just take a lot more. So if I went in and tried to give someone a few blunt canes, I mean, nobody would take it. But if you start off with a paddle or a hand spank or whatever and build onto it. So yeah, she obviously had no idea what she was doing.
No.
Yeah.
Well, she wasn't very happy after it.
No.
She didn't leave a happy
massive big line across her arse.
Jesus
One
Christ,
line.
I just beggars belief that people are like that a lot of the time. People are like that with kind of the music and stuff like that as well. They'll just kind of newly get into someone, they'll start wearing the t-shirts and stuff like that. So
Know everything about it.
Aye, that's
well,
it.
if it was me, if I was going to try something like that, I would purposely not try that stuff because I'm not stupid. I've been.
You might like it.
Well, maybe.
Never know.
But you get, you know how you get those trees that have got like really thin branches.
Yes.
Well, that's your experience of
This is my experience of BDSM. I was out drinking with my friends, and a lassie that I was with got one of these sticks for some reason and hit me right along the leg with it. I was about crying. It was the worst thing I've ever experienced.
Before Inka jumps in here, I'm going to say this. Well, this is not a dominatrix style thing because you didn't ask for this.
No.
It's unconsensual. And you didn't have a hard on either, I take it.
No.
See, the amount of pain you can take when you're aroused is different.
Oh, so
you think you might have needed more
when
then?
you're aroused?
Yes.
Right.
You can take a lot more of everything when you're aroused.
So you're saying you might have needed more whipping to get hard or something?
No.
I was half drunk as well.
There you go.
So you couldn't get a hard one at that point.
No, you were just abused.
Aye, I was just abused.
That's
Is that sexual abuse?
No,
did
she didn't want to make you hard.
No.
Did you pay her after it as well? Did you do that?
Fuck.
No, but there you go. There you go. So
Didn't
you got
have
nothing
money.
that night.
The only reason I didn't pay her was I had no money.
There you go.
Aye, that's my experience with BDSM. Very unexperienced.
That wasn't an experience of BDSM. But I would recommend the tie and tease to start with. Something a little bit more.
I'll write that in my diary.
Or
I'll write that down.
Feels nice.
Instead of getting smacked by a tree, that's fucking intense.
Fucking say.
I can imagine. I can imagine. But so, could you guide us through what like a kind of typical session?
Oh God, there's no such thing as a typical session.
Right.
What stupid question?
Well, let's say the one you did today, because that's particularly interesting.
Well, the thing is, you get so many different clients that are into so many different things. So you get some clients that are into sissification, so they want to be dressed as girl, either slutty girl or a nice prim and proper girl, and strap on and different things, or just dressing up is enough for them. Then you get other people that are into extreme humiliation, so they really want to feel like they're useless, worthless, and I am the mistress, I am the the strong, powerful woman, and they're just like dirt on my shoe. Then you get the other client that's not like that. It's very one-to-one. So I'm, we're on equal level. They don't want to be feeling like dirt or inferior to me. And normally they guys are just into pain. They just like the feeling of the pain and things like that. And then you also get, all the different things that they might be into. They might be into medical. They might be into ropes and, bondage, or they might hate the feeling of bondage. So, like, you get a kind of typical session once you know what area of BDSM they're into. So, say, for example, I don't know, like a classic kind of bondage and session. So they would be, wait in a submissive position, maybe hooded, collared, ball gagged, wait for me sort of thing, and then they'd be instructed to get onto some sort of apparatus, and normally spanked, whipped, flogged, tied down. Then also, are they into anal or not? And, it's just so vast, the different things. So it's really about having a conversation at the beginning, finding out what they're into, finding out what they're really not into. And the more you get to know them, then you can kind of like tease them with that. So, you can threaten them. Oh, so you don't like anal? And then you put your rubber gloves on, and they're like, oh, and then and your fingers, and they're like that. No, mistress. So you can, I'm not going to do anything they don't like, but you can tease them or put on your biggest strap on ever and go, yeah, you don't like anal, okay. So
Jesus, that would scare me to death.
Yeah, exactly. But it's quite no. Or push them with little things, but it's you have to have a conversation at the beginning. You really do. Unless you when you get to know the person, you can go straight into it, and then you can push them in all that, all the different areas. But yeah, I don't know.
I would imagine it would be fun for you to get someone that starts as a beginner, and then you work with them long enough that you get to build this relationship to the point where they're no longer a beginner, they know exactly what they want. They've sort of...
Yeah, it becomes more about what I want then. Yeah, which is good.
So they've figured out where they stand and where they don't stand.
Yeah.
And then you're sort of on your way.
Yeah, as soon as you have
You're sort of building your own Frankensub.
Frankensub. I love that.
That's right off the top of the head.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well done, man.
Yeah, because once the trust thing's there and you trust each other, then Frankensub will go, okay, mistress, I trust you, so I'll let you do anything you want within reason. And then you can really start to have fun, because then I can go, oh, okay, right, I want you to do this, and I want you to do... Right, and then you can get really creative, because you know that they're in a comfortable place, and you're not going to, scare them too much. Or they're...
too much, basically.
Yeah, because they're like, they go into, they call it subspace, when you can kind of, switch off and just let things happen to you. But you're not going to get that your first time. No. So relationship building in sessions is really good.
And they all have safe words and stuff as well. So
I don't really use safe words.
No.
I don't push someone to, like in a first session, never use a safe word, because I will find out by working slowly up to harder how far they can go, and you can tell by body language and things like that. You have to be
somebody's shaking and stuff, you're putting
or going red, or you can tell. And I also say, on our first time, let's have a conversation. If it's getting too much, you can tell me, or if you need it harder, because I need to find out as well. The only time I would use a safe word is if I knew someone very well and they wanted to be pushed to their safe word. So say we were doing corporal punishment and they wanted to see how many canes they could take. Right. And I knew they could take a lot or whatever, then I would say, okay, your safe word is I'm a wee bitch or whatever. And they would... or hit me harder, mistress is their safe word or something. And they would... it would... Then, I would use it. But yeah, you can tell. I mean, you can tell when somebody's not handling something. It's... They're going red in the face, eyeballs are popping out.
Totally.
They're their hand's about to fall off. Or,
I could usually tell when the hand's about to fall off. That's
when
usually a point.
Some white, I'll let you down now. But I normally split up my sessions to... say it's a 2-hour session, it'd be 4 kind of half an hour things. And half an hour is a good time for someone to be in a very uncomfortable position. Or if it was very uncomfortable, it'd be less. So it might just be 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But I would work out, they can be up to half an hour if it's quite a comfortable position, or longer if it's a very comfortable position. But yeah, you would work out that as well. So...
Do you have any dealings with financial domination? Because this is something that I've heard about before, where
oh God, everyone's trying to jump on that bandwagon.
Is this quite a new thing that's kind of...
No, it's been going for years, but the thing is, who doesn't want to get money for fuck all? Well, girls
what I was thinking.
Girls think it's for fuck all. It's actually very... You work hard, and I think it's for quite antisocial girls as well, because they'll be in their house all the time online.
Aye.
And, like, people have given me money or things like that, but they want all this, they want online sessions or phone call sessions, and it's very about manipulative play and cruel play and mind games, whereas I'm much more one-to-one, hands-on, and less about verbal mind games. So it's hard work to be a good financial dom. I mean, you have to be a right bitch, I think. You really do.
But there was that girl that was on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Aye.
What was she? She was a calm girl.
She was kind of a calm girl, but she'd done like loads of other stuff.
But she eventually got to the point where she was making a very, very good living from just selling, was it veils of pish?
Aye, veils of pee and shite and stuff like that. She was selling it to people, and she would financially dominate people. Like, people would say, like, here's my bank card, get whatever you like, and she was saying you should get up to like a good like 32, 64 grand and stuff. That sometimes
it happens. But I mean, again, I've done some, like, guys give me their bank card or whatever, and we go shopping and things like that. But again, it's like, I kind of say, you have to find out what they can afford or what they can't. So they'll give you a kind of, and you can push it a little bit or under to make them sweat. But
do you find yourself going to Asda and getting smart price stuff? I take it for the less fortunate guys then.
No, it wouldn't be that kind of shopping thing. But it's.
Does George make leather suits and stuff?
Who?
George,
I imagine
Asda.
They make really kind of jaggy clay, so I imagine they'd be fantastic for domination.
No,
really
I
jaggy.
would go and buy myself underwear, because that would embarrass them as well, and they have to walk slightly behind me, which is always good. And you go, Piggy, I need something, carry my bag, or some perfume and things like that. So girly things. But the financial domination, there is thousands, millions, billions of these little teenage pop-up doms just trying it, and give me money, pig. And it's like, I don't think it works. I think for the majority of these girls it's not working.
That would be my question, is whether it's working or not.
No. And they're on Twitter going, look how much I've made, or look how many presents are coming through, or whatever. And there will be some girls that are, and there definitely is. But they've been going for a long time and things. And there'll be other girls that are just saying they're getting it, and they're not. It's themselves that are borrowing their dad's money and flashing it on a picture, saying that someone just came and gave me this. Because the thing is, it's like, if you sell yourself and say that you've got all this, then people go, oh wow, okay, I want to do that too. I want, maybe she is getting all that little princess, so I will spoil her again and things like that. But it's a full-time job, and the amount of, because you're online as well, the amount of time wasters you'll get, like guys saying they're going to put all this in, they'll get an hour out of you free, and then they'll say, oh, I'm going to put such and such into your account now, and then they'll disappear. It's like, no, I want them in my dungeon where they're tied up and I can do what I want to them.
Maybe that's why we didn't get very many replies. They're just assuming that we're trying to, maybe that's what she meant by scam.
What? So just get free time.
We're trying to get free time and
trying to get a free podcast
session.
chatter.
Well, that we could have told.
We were trying to get them in for a free session.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I never even thought that they would think that.
Because we could totally be lying about the podcast.
Because I completely explained what the podcast was when I did message people.
Yeah, you had links and everything.
Aye, totally. Aye.
Yeah, I don't think that.
Well, that's it. So, how long have you been doing this now, you said? Was it 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, something like that. 5 years, 6 years.
Have you got plans for kind of taking it on to further areas? Are you talking until you're 40, 50 year old and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's the thing about Dominatrix. You can do it for a very long time. You get better with age, because there's so many things to learn. And obviously, the age thing, I think, it really helps. The older you are, the more you're more confident you are, the more you know your work. So actually, I think, yeah, it's the only kind of sex worker profession that actually the older you are, the better. But I plan to do more video things. I'm looking to get some lights, like 3-way lights, so that we can do more clips and things like that, because then you don't have to be actual sessioning for to still make money, because I do have a son though, so I'm thinking about how to deal with that. Maybe I don't want to be all over the internet, so maybe again.
How old's your son, if you don't mind me asking?
He's going to be 2 next month.
Right. So
you're not a kind of dodgy area, I don't know.
No, it's fine, but thinking of his future, so thinking about maybe start to become a bit more masked, or even.
Because I know a comedian. Well, don't personally know him. There's a comedian called Doug Stanhope. I don't know if you know him, who was talking about his mum on stage, and he found out that his mum done porn reviews. Now, to me, that would be relatively fine, but finding out that my mum does manginas for a living is when it becomes a wee bit more difficult.
Yeah.
Have you got plans for how to explain? Mummy does manginas for a living. It's fine.
Yeah, no. I don't. It's something that I'm really thinking of.
Plenty of time yet, I imagine.
It's plenty of time, but I have to think of it. Maybe he won't find out at all, but I have to put things in place. Also, I know other mistresses that have got kids, and the kids are, that's mum, she does this crazy shit.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And, when they get to know, and it's still their mum, and it's, as long as you kind of, I was about to say break them in gently, but that sounds really bad.
She's reached our level of humour. Perfect.
But, I don't know yet how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. And obviously is carefully, and I don't know. Yeah, it's a hard one.
I think it's a fun one though. It's a fun.
Yeah, don't mess with such and such's mum.
Totally,
she'll have you. Yeah.
She'll financially dominate you. That'd be fucking horrible. Oh.
So I've got all the dads in the nursery.
God. Yeah. Have you ever seen people like publicly and stuff like that you've had in for sessions and stuff?
Yeah.
And they've been like, oh, fuck, like.
Oh, not been like that. I mean, I'll ignore somebody unless I know they're cool with it. Like I see chicken fucker all the time. So I'm
chicken
not like
fucker.
You can swear.
Oh, you can swear. Oh, absolutely.
Chicken fucker.
It's a guy I made fuck a chicken.
A real chicken.
Yes, but like a
raw, right.
like a raw one.
No
animal cruelty.
No.
But he's into.
Is that necrophilia?
What's that?
Is that no necrophilia?
I don't know if it's a food item. It's a food item, but it's still an animal.
I should say fuck. He made love to the chicken because we asked him.
Did he go?
Right.
He was like, a little chicken. Yeah. Anyway, he's into real extreme.
I'd love this. just laughing.
Humiliation.
No.
Yeah, we
can make that.
I find humiliation funny. That's what we find.
I felt it quite hard to deal with at first. It was the thing that I didn't like the most, because I just found it quite hard to be so horrible to people. Now I love it actually, because I know that they love it. But in your head, your mother go, "Don't be horrible to people. Don't say nasty things to people," and then you get to say really horrible, nasty things to people, and then you kind of, you have this inner turmoil going, and then you realise, but they really like it, so that's fine. But yeah, it takes a wee while to get your head round. And, he will do anything. Anything. Just to feel really humiliated.
Right.
But the thing is, as soon as the person's come, then the shame happens, like that kind of like when you've been watching weird porn or something, and you go, "Oh God, what have I done? I didn't do that. I didn't look at that. That's terrible." Though that for that particular person, there's so much kind of shame afterwards.
I can imagine, because you've got like a chicken on one side and then you've got like a brush up your arse or something like that. And you kind of, it's sort of if you've just watched a video or something.
I would never have thought of that. Aye, that would be. How do you deal with that?
You just
well,
ask
that's
them
the
if
thing.
they're okay, and you know, I know this person now, so it's kind of like that's how they react to it, and you just have to leave them. They don't want, you know, a conversation afterwards. You just go, all right, yeah, cool, all right, see you later, you know, and just because I'll go round to their place, they don't come to mine.
All right, because
so
I'd imagine getting a bus after that would be kind of.
We have left them in the woods before. I was really worried. Me and Marilyn left them in the woods after we had.
You just left them in the woods?
Yeah, he takes lots of poppers, which will be legal soon, actually, poppers.
Aye. I did hear about that.
They're going to ban it soon, but he had so much poppers, he was turning green, and he was like, just leave me now, and he was just lying in the woods, and we went, we can't just leave you, what if you die or something? And he went, no, I'm fine, I'm totally fine, and we were like, and we hung about, and he was just like, please, just leave me, you know, just... And we left and said, phone me as soon as you get up. You know, so 10 minutes later he phoned and said, oh, I'm fine now. But yeah, really worried because you don't want to just leave someone in the
totally.
woods.
That's it.
You know, when they're a shade of green. I think he had 2 popper bottles stuck in his nostrils.
Fucking
you know,
hell.
like he was high as a kite.
Aye. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So you've done public work and that's... But that's not public, you're in a field.
Public humiliation, yeah. But not much, because I don't want, again, consensual. So I don't want people to witness it that haven't consented. You know, if there's an old woman walking along and she sees something that's going to disturb her, I don't want that old woman to feel like that. Or a child, or somebody that's not into it, witnessing it. I just think, I don't want to put them through that. But, you know, in the deep, dark woods, then Piggy can look for truffles. But
is this the thing you call a lot of them piggies? Is this
he had.
I noticed on the website, the Debauche website, there was like pigs pictures and stuff like that.
Well, yeah,
is it a common thing
he
for
was a
there?
piggy on that. Well, the thing is, on the financial stuff, people call them the guys, the clients, piggies, because it's like piggy banks or.
All right, aye.
But or cash cows, piggy banks, pigs, but. No, he was actually just wearing a pig mask.
Right.
So.
Never seems to be on this financial domination thing. I never see male financial doms and female financials.
Or like a lassie trying to.
No, because women aren't that stupid.
No, that's what I was saying. Like,
come on, man.
I totally agree.
No, totally. Aye.
Like women's going to give out our money to some guy that's calling her a fat slag.
It's amazing.
It's like,
it amazes me to this day what men will do for sex.
But they don't even get that.
I know, and that's another thing. Dick pics. I hear a lot of people, fucking women, especially, obviously. Women are like exposing these dudes that just send dick pics all the time.
Oh yeah,
and
I
it's
get it
just
constantly.
you must get that fucking constantly.
I don't even open my direct messages
Just
on
sick
Twitter
it.
most of the time because I don't look at it. It's just like that. It's just every other message is a.
There's
Jesus
people.
Christ. There's people that think there's she's going to love this one sort of thing. She's like, she's. This is the one for her.
I've had hot dinners. I think it's like, it's another cock. Wonderful. Oh, brilliant. Yeah. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, another dick.
Just
yeah.
the absolute arrogance of people just think this is the one she's going to love. She's going to fall in love with this one.
Well,
ridiculous one.
Dicks look the same.
No,
I mean,
they
there's
don't.
No. And obviously there's differences in size and width. But basic
colour and the way that they go off to one angle, or the foreskin, or the balls, or they're so different.
So unknowledgeable about penises.
They're as different as people's faces are. They're really like
right.
Yeah. As I say, I've seen a lot of cock.
Aye.
There you go.
You've probably seen a fair amount more than me.
We didn't think they were in different shapes.
No, I knew there was.
It's quite amazing to me that you thought
there
that.
were basic.
We have one client that we call his cock meatloaf because it's just like so big, but looks kind of slightly like it's like half cooked meatloaf.
Jesus, I thought you meant the singer Meatloaf. Like it looked like.
No, it looks a bit like him too, actually.
Got a wee wig on it and that.
Yeah, a wee microphone attached.
Wee wig and a wee guitar.
There's a guy on. There's a Tumblr guy that he must just be obsessed with the thought of people seeing his knob but he just has a tumbler full of pictures of his knob with like faces written on it.
See, but that's funny. I like that.
Or
That's funny.
like, he'll put like a wig on it and he'll make it like like a wee scene.
Oh, amazing.
A wee puppet show.
It's
So he's got like
hilarious.
a dick stage and everything like that.
No, he's not in that. He might invest in one soon, but he's not got that level of production value yet. But he'll put wee faces on it and put wigs on it, and then he'll draw a wee synopsis of his dick pic.
Oh, Jesus.
It's amazing. Love the guy.
I mean, a lot of you were saying about dicks that people might want to fall, like the mistress would fall in love with them. Well, actually, a lot of the dicks are really, really small dicks because they're into small penis humiliation, which is a massive thing.
With that. Aye, totally. That's another thing.
So they're wanting a free session basically because they want you to go back, don't insult me with your tiny cock or whatever, and they're going to get off on that.
Right.
So, mistress, how you look at this tiny cock? Don't you think I'm so pathetic and stuff? And you just don't answer.
I would imagine that you'd get normal sized penises asking for small penis human. How can you do that?
Yeah.
But realistically, it's not.
Well, basically, you've
got a big giant arm thing, and you're like, oh, look at that tiny fucking thing.
Then you just bring out one of your massive dildos and say, look, this is a normal size cock, and look at the size of your cock. It's so small, Oh my god, how'd you get any women? Or
you've got a script. You've essentially got a script at this point.
Well,
there'll be some things that can
there's certain things that definitely you're going to have to just describe how small their penis is to them, because that's where they're getting off on. And there's only a certain amount of words that you can call a small dick, You
can't do that for any longer than half an hour, I'd imagine. Just could you drag out that long for half an hour?
Well, it's not just about, you might put it in chastity because it's so useless, or you might punish them for being so useless, like they're half a man, or you might dress them as a girl because you don't deserve to wear men's clothes, or you could be a nurse and you're examining them and giving them a.
This all just seems amazing to me because it's something like I'm definitely not into it.
You want a session for your birthday?
Hell no, that absolutely scares me to death, man. I'm not interested in it, but it's cool to hear about it that people are actually interested.
But there's some nice things.
I probably seem like somebody that is definitely interested. I'm just trying to fucking cover it.
I'm just saying that for your birthday soon.
So you're definitely not into humiliation and things, but there's things that some people go. They're not into pain. They're not into humiliation, but they're into just the look of things.
Yeah.
So they want you just to be dressed in a particular way, but then it's they've all these gadgets that feel amazing. So all these big vibrating things, and the milking machine that we've talked about, that these things feel really good. That I'm actually jealous I don't have a cock sometimes because I'm like, I really want to put my cock in there. They feel really good. So anybody would be into that. Right. Maybe women dressed really sexily, doing things to you that feel good.
It makes all the way.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
that's it. I think it's the. I'm sitting back
the pain and the humiliation.
The pain and the humiliation
But that's what everyone thinks of, domination.
It's an automatic kind of reaction.
But domination can be just the fact that you have no say over what the person's doing, but they're actually doing quite nice things to you. They're tying you up with maybe nice sensual rope so you can't use your hands, and then they're using something that feels really good on you. Yep. So I mean, nobody'd be complaining about that.
I was just going to say, I think I'll go for a mangina.
Stop all this nice stuff. I want a mangina.
But I wonder if do you think he'd be willing to come through and have a chat, or is he one of the?
Me?
No, the guy with the mangina.
All right. I don't know. I've got a funny feeling that a lot of them are kind of willing to not talk about it whatsoever.
I know.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
It's a private thing for a lot of people.
Yeah, and it's escape. It's escape from their normal day-to-day routine. No. And unless they are kind of full-time committed to it, then, it's just... I get lots of regulars that are really irregular regulars, so you might just see them once every 6 months. And that's enough for that little fetish bit of them, and then they can go back to their normal lives and not think about it for ages. Whereas I do have some clients that I see every 2 weeks or at least once a month or that kind of thing.
Do you get any married people that are in?
Yeah, of course.
Aye, totally. I knew that.
I know it seems obvious, but some people might refuse to do that because the other person is not involved.
I've actually lost clients because I've said, because sometimes it can be a bit like therapy as well. So I've lost clients because I've kind of told them to tell their part, or they're not happy, so just to come out with it, or to tell their friends or whatever. Not just. But they have, and they've been like, "Oh, thank you so much. It's great." Like, and now my partner knows, and I'm just so much happier and everything. Sorry, you won't have a client anymore, but
I was just going to say that.
But it's that's wonderful because it's a thing that they're keeping really hidden.
Yeah.
And to actually, come out with it, it must feel just amazing.
Aye, could imagine so.
Or even just to their friends, like just telling their friends, "Listen, I go to a dominatrix every few months, and I get my arse spanked," and just coming out like that might be just a major thing, and then they say it and they go, "Actually, that wasn't so bad," and everyone goes, "You dirty bastard," and that's it.
Well, that
tends to be probably how other pals would react to that.
Aye, definitely. No, aye.
Or they'd say, "Yeah."
Even if they had no idea.
Aye, totally. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, you got any last questions, man?
No.
That's perfect. I think we've covered most of what I had to cover anyway, so that's perfect. You got anything you want to advertise? Any upcoming events or?
No, not really. But I mean, definitely the amount of couples that are starting to find out about our place and then coming and renting it together, I just feel like, oh, it's so lovely, because they're getting to fulfill, fantasy, or even playing, or just finding out what they might be into.
Yeah.
So advertise that we do that, that you can rent our place and everything. So if you're feeling a little bit kinky out there, then do get in touch.
Excellent.
Yeah.
We'll put the website up for everybody that wants to check out as well. Is there anything else you want to put up, like sort of link-wise and stuff?
It would just be the Twitter.
Just the Twitter?
Suppose, yeah.
That's cool.
Because then they can get an idea, really.
Well,
we've got a new website getting done for our new place.
Right.
But, yeah, experiment. It's fun.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for coming in, Inka. Much appreciated
problem.
for you coming up.
Thanks for asking me.
No problem at all. Perfect.